And I found that doing this actually makes me feel a little bit more successful, and you'll probably find that you feel the same way. This reason is very important if you have a really big goal that you want to achieve and you are struggling to achieve it. You'll often find it hard to even just get going in the first place, or to prioritize things that are actually going to help you, and it's definitely going to make you feel more productive each and every day. And this is what's going to help us be productive and way more successful than if it was just to leave it to our own devices. Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video where I'm going to tell you why I write down 5 things every single day that I want to achieve and how this makes me more productive and successful. So I've got a list of 5 reasons as to why this works, and I'm going to go through each one of them with you. But before we get started on the video, I just want to ask that you leave the video a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so you can get more useful content like this. And I'm hoping that today this video can help you out and potentially start you on a path to being more productive and successful. Okay, so I'm going to go straight on to the first reason as to why I write down 5 things I want to achieve every day, as I don't want to waste any time in this video. So the first reason as to why this works for me is that it keeps me on track. So by writing stuff down every single day, I usually do it the night before so that when I wake up I know exactly what I'm doing from right at the start of the day. And by looking at this list, I like to look at it a few times throughout the day, especially first thing in the morning, so I can remind myself what I want to do. But it keeps you on track and it lets you know what you need to do in that day, and it can help you to prioritize the things that matter. So as well as this, having these things written down means that you can come to them when you've completed tasks and you can actually tick them off. And I found that doing this actually makes me feel a little bit more successful, and you'll probably find that you feel the same way. Okay, so on to the second reason, and I feel like this is quite an important one. And this reason is that it stops you from doing too much. So if you set yourself too many tasks in the day, that is most likely going to lead to you not doing things and things not getting done. And that is not what we want. So there's a reason I've chosen 5 things as opposed to maybe 3 things or 7 things, for example. I just find that it's that sweet spot between not having enough to actually write stuff down and having too many things to the point where your mind is thinking about too much at once. And so I'd recommend 5 or maybe even 4 if you have a little bit less to do during the day. But writing down 4 or 5 things should be that sweet spot where you're not attempting to do too much, but as well you're not attempting to do too little to the point where it's kind of like, what's the point of writing anything down? And on the topic of doing too much, if you do end up not doing the tasks that you've got written down, you can get that feeling of being unsuccessful. Leaving things unticked on your checklist is something that we don't want to do. And for that reason, we need to keep it concise and make sure that the things we write down are definitely things that we can do during the day if we just put our minds to it. And speaking of which, if we can limit it down to just 5 main things that we want to do every single day, we make sure that we're actually prioritizing the right things, as it can be so easy during the day to prioritize the wrong things, such as,
oh, I kind of need to spend an hour now on Instagram.
Or spend an hour scrolling through TikTok.
As we know, these things aren't a priority, so by listing down 5 things that are way more productive, such as getting workouts in, doing work, like specific tasks that you need to get done during the day in terms of your work, it can keep you on track and make sure that you don't go off. Okay, and so we'll move on to this third reason. And this reason is very important if you have a really big goal that you want to achieve and you are struggling to achieve it. And so this third reason is that it allows you to break up larger goals into smaller sections. So let's take an example here. If you have one big goal, which I'm sure most of us do, we have one thing that we're really striving for. So to give you an example, for me personally, something that I'm aiming for and a big goal of mine is to run a half marathon, which I'm not going to go into detail with in this video because I know I've probably bored you with previous videos, keep mentioning it, you know what's going down by now. But thinking about that big goal all at once, thinking about the fact that I need to run 21 kilometers at once in a race, and obviously I'm going to be aiming for a certain time, that thought can be really daunting. But by simply writing down every day when I need to go for a run, maybe it's a 5k run, maybe it's a speed run or whatever it is, by writing down this goal every single day, this little goal, I'm actually breaking up that larger goal into smaller tasks that are much more manageable day to day. And by getting these little things done and being able to tick them off to make you feel successful, this is going to mean that you get one step closer to your goal every single day. And all of a sudden, that one big goal that you have may not seem so daunting after all. Okay, so my reason 4 and my reason 5 kind of tie in together, but this reason kind of looks at the other end of things. This reason sort of looks at what happens if you don't have things to do during your day, and this is how writing down these 5 things every single day is going to solve that. So reason 4, put simply, is that it makes you think. So this is more to do with actually writing down the goals themselves that you want to achieve every single day, those 5 things. And when you actually sit down to write down these 5 things, it really does make you think about what you need to be doing during the next day. So this is as opposed to, say you wake up on a normal day and you have nothing written down that you want to get done. You'll often find it hard to even just get going in the first place, or to prioritize things that are actually going to help you towards your goals. And I've done it myself before, I really have. Like, it's so easy to wake up in the morning having not written anything down. And I mean, to be honest, I typically do this on a Sunday. I'm not perfect, I'm still trying to work this whole thing out for myself. But for example, when I do wake up on a Sunday and I haven't got anything written down, I tend to find that I don't do as much as I could have done during the day. And I definitely don't prioritize things the way that I should. So like I say, having this list of 5 things and having to actually sit there and write them down every single day is going to make you think about what you actually need to do, and it's definitely going to make you feel more productive each and every day. Okay, and reason 5, as I said, it links to reason 4. So like we just discussed, writing down these things is going to make you actually think about what you need to do during the day, but it's also going to allow you to just simply stop wasting time. So as we spoke before about how my Sundays usually go down when I haven't written anything down, you do tend to waste a lot of time when you haven't got a specific thing that you're thinking about doing. So for example, if I was to write down that I need to complete a certain amount of uni work during the day, maybe I've got a big task that I need to do, and so I write it down as my number 1, my top priority. And so when I look at that in the morning and when I look at that list throughout the day, I know that I need to be working on that. But if I didn't have that written down, I simply just probably wouldn't do it, because it's something that you're not actually thinking about in your head. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. A lot of the time, if we leave ourselves to our own devices, we don't think about the things that we actually need to do, especially when maybe it comes to a weekend and we're just thinking about, oh, I just want to relax and play some games. If you don't have these things written down that you need to do, it's so easy to go off task and hence waste time. So to kind of wrap up that point, as I say, it stops us wasting time, but actually makes us focus on what we should be doing with our time. And this is what's going to help us be productive and way more successful than if it was just to leave it to our own devices. So that is where I'm going to end this video. It was quite an informative one, I feel, and I'm hoping that by doing this video, it will inspire more people to simply write stuff down. And you don't even have to write down these 5 goals that you want to achieve every single day. It could be as simple as making yourself a little checklist and just writing down stuff that you want to do during the day. It doesn't have to have a specific number or any sort of meaning behind it, but just by simply writing the stuff down, I feel like that's the most important part, and that's what's going to make you more productive and successful. So I've got a couple of questions for all of you watching the video that I want you to answer in the comments, and hopefully we can have a little bit of a discussion. I always reply to my comments that I get, so make sure that you do leave a comment on these. So my first question is simply, are you going to try this technique out? So you can leave a simple yes or no, or you can go into detail as to why you do or do not want to try this out. It'd be interesting to see other people's views on it, so make sure you do leave a comment on that. And my second question is, do you do any form of writing goals down or anything like that in general? So it might not be that you write down 5 things every single day. It could be that you just do a checklist, or maybe you write down some goals for the week that you like to achieve. But do you do anything like that? Make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you do. And please give me some tips and advice from yourselves, because I always love to read my comments and I'm always trying to learn. I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how much you know, you can always learn something else. So if you do have something you'd like to share in the comments, please leave it below. I will read it, I will respond. And as I say, hopefully we can get a discussion going. So thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate you all taking the time out of your day to give it a watch. Make sure you leave a like if you haven't already, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want more useful content like this. And on the topic of that, let me know if you enjoyed this style of video as well. So that's where we're going to leave it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Take care.